Welcome everyone to another year of Advent of Cyber provided to us by TryHackMe. I'm Dorota Kozlowska, penetration tester, and on my podcast I'm trying to share the vibe of Bob Ross. So I will share some quotes with you today. I hope you like it. I hope you find my explanation easy to follow and hope you enjoy Advent of Cyber Day 5. Without further ado, my first quote is, remember, a good penetration tester is like a gentle stream. We flow around the weakness, leaving no stone unturned. So let's move on. On this page, we can go and see the warm-up room here. But if we scroll down, we can see at the end of the event, we will get a certification. And I really enjoy the challenges and created in the spirit of Christmas, of holidays, which is, I'm very big on that. Very festive, very excited. So to show you the prizes and why it's worth participating other than gaining more knowledge and having fun, you can gain prizes that are very physical, like a MacBook, a monitor, gaming keyboard, but also hacker tools, Flipper Zero, DEFCON tickets, cyber bootcamps available, for Swigger, Burp Suite, web security certification 100 available. I recommend that one as well. It's a very good, a bit difficult web testing, penetration testing certification. You can get subscription with Burp Suite and also the certification from TryHackMe, the Blue Team one and the Red Team one. 100 vouchers available, but also TryHackMe prizes are like subscriptions, swag cards, AWS Azure Cloud licenses. But without further ado, I want to share the story first. So the elves of Wellville are on high alert since Max Kitty went missing, and recently the support team has been receiving many calls from parents who can't activate vouchers on the Try Present Me website. Today's challenge is Santa's Little IDOR, so we will learn about IDOR here while helping pentest the Try Present Me website. And what are the learning objectives here? We will understand the concept of authentication and authorization, learn how to spot potential opportunities for insecure direct object reference, that's IDOR, and exploit IDOR to perform horizontal privilege escalation. So be mindful of, like, TryHackMe always creates their rooms in a way that there's a lot of hints planted everywhere. So be mindful of how you read the material. Take notes. Notes are really a good way to learn. So, but before we learn anything, we probably have to have resources available. So before moving forward, we have to start attack box, and maybe we want to do it in a VM. Today I'm going to use the attack box to make my life easier. So yeah, that's what I recommend to you. But however you want to pursue this task, you're free to choose. We start the target VM by clicking Start Machine here, and yeah, you have to wait and a few minutes to make it yeah, available to us. But also we need the attacker machine, and so we just click here, and it's starting going into a split mode like that. We need to wait till it's initiated a few minutes, but before we do, I really wanted to show you how to view in full screen here. So we click this button and another page opens and we can view in full screen. And to leave this mode, because I would like to show you the reading material as well, we have to click this minus icon here. So we can open it full screen like that. And this page here is ready to use. So we just have to click enter to close this window. And we are ready to go. We can open a browser. How to get the IP addresses for our work? We have the attacker machine IP address in here and the target machine IP address in here. We can also click here and copy them. And we will need the target machine IP address. So we copy it and we can open it in a browser here. Paste the IP address and yeah. And we have the page available to us in here. I wanted to come back and explain the rest of it. So yeah, we have successfully launched the target machine and the attack box. So I will check. I got a correct answer checkbox here. I want to talk about IDOR today. So have you ever seen a link that looks like this? And with the parameters and ID number. So when you saw a link like this, have you ever wondered what would happen if you change the numbers in the ID? If you ever did that and you have been redirected to a different page with new information, you probably had a case of IDOR. And then you probably thought to yourself, look at this vulnerable web page. It's a happy little spot when we can practice our craft and learn from each other. So yeah, it's good to acknowledge the opportunity to improve our security through responsible testing and reporting as well. IDOR stands for Insecure Direct Object Reference and is a type of access control vulnerability. Web applications often use references to determine what data to return when you make a request. And however, if the web server doesn't perform checks to ensure you are allowed to view the data before sending it, you have a problem here, right? So it can lead to serious sensitive information disclosure. And a good question to ask then is, why does it happen so often? But it's just one little bug, folks. When we fix it, it's like painting a beautiful sunset. The whole picture gets brighter and more secure. So to move along here, if we get the ID 1001, that might be Alice Smith and with her package status delivered. But if you would be very curious and tinker a bit with that URL and change the package ID to something else, like for example 1002, you could probably get information of Bob Johnson with a package in transit, or maybe Carol White with package ID number 1003, or maybe that's Daniel Brown from Ogdenville with a package number status pending, or maybe it's Eve Martinez from Haverbrook and package returned. So as you can see, IDOR is a very interesting vulnerability because it can give you access to information that could be sensitive, like a home address, maybe email, sometimes account information, without asking you to log in or provide a password. So it's a very cool vulnerability. I like it. If the user wants to know the status of their package and make a web request, the simplest method is to allow the user to supply their package ID, and we recover it from the database using a simple SQL query like select person address status from packages where package ID is the value. But I wanted to say now that I will not read the whole information in that challenge. Feel free to read it yourself, take notes, learn a lot with it, but I'm just going to highlight the most important parts in here. So just don't be disappointed that I'm not explaining everything in detail. I'm just here to supplement, maybe provide some jokes and help for people that learn in a visual way like I do. So since package ID is a sequential number, you can probably guess what is the next number and maybe look for the admin account or other juicy accounts that you're interested in, and then move in a very horizontal way. And so it became pretty obvious to guess the package ID of other customers. And yeah, you can even use tools as Burp Suite Intruder and then guess other account numbers in an automated way. But we will not do it here. I'm just sharing some pointers if you want to do it in a different way. This challenge will not be very difficult. You don't have to use another tool to get the proper responses. So to understand IDOR and how it works better, it's important to understand the distinction between authentication and authorization, and also that will help us to understand the root cause of IDOR. Authentication is the process by which you verify who you are, for example, by supplying your username and password, and authorization is the process by which the web application verifies your permission. So, for example, you are allowed to visit the admin page of a web application, or maybe you are allowed to make a payment using a specific account. So, authorization here is very important and connected with either vulnerability. You might think that authentication only happens once you supply the username and password, but that is actually not the case. After providing your credentials, you received a cookie or a token called session information. Authorization cannot happen before authentication. If the application doesn't know who you are, it cannot verify what permissions the user has. This is a very important part to remember. If your IDOR doesn't require you to authenticate, login, or provide session information, such as in your package tracking example, we will have to fix authentication first before we can fix the authorization issue of making sure that users get only information about packages they own. So the last bit of theory to cover is privilege escalation types, and that will also be useful to get the right answers at the end of the challenge. So pay attention, my friend. So vertical privilege escalation happens when you gain access to more features. For example, you may be normal user of the application, but you can perform action that should be restricted for administrator, so we move vertically here. Horizontal privilege escalation refers to situation where you can use a feature you're authorized to use, but gain access to data that you're not allowed to access. And for example, you should only be able to see your account, but you see someone else's account as well. So that's horizontal privilege escalation. And IDOR is usually performed in a form of horizontal privilege escalation, and you are allowed to make use of the track package functionality, but you should be restricted to only performing that tracking action for packages you own. Now that we understand the theory, let's look into how exploit IDOR practically. How I've go about those challenges. Usually, I read through all of it first, but also go to the end of the challenge and see what questions are asked here. And then I can pay more attention to what answers am I looking for. So, what does either stands for? And actually, I can already answer that question. We already know. But if you don't remember the right answer, you can just look for it, and I will just look either, and it will highlight for me the answer in secure direct object reference. I want to copy it, but also in the challenge there are scattered explanations. So if you just click on this highlighted item, you can see that IDOR is insecure direct object references, and there's an explanation that they are type of access control vulnerability that arises when an application uses user supplied input to access objects directly. So as you can see, this challenge is created in a very easy to understand way. And there are a lot of hints, so I will provide the first answer, reference. So what IDOR stands for, insecure direct object reference, and I will see, okay, that's a correct answer. And I'm really happy that this worked for me. And another thing that I can already check is what type of privilege escalation are mostly seen when the vulnerability is present. So how I remember it's horizontal. So let's see if that's the right answer. It it is. It's very satisfying. I love the gamification of TryHackMe. And so there's another question that we are being asked here. Exploiting the IDOR found the view account parameter. What is the user ID of the parent that has 10 children? So that's a parent that have a lot of children. It's a very happy family. We don't really know the answer right now, but we can pay attention to view accounts parameter from now on. And so I will go into the hands-on challenge right now. But before I do, I wanted to also highlight that at the end of this room, there are two bonus tasks that you can play with. I will not work on them, just be mindful that they exist here. And to go back to the challenge, we have here a web page available with a username and password. Password is TryHackMe. We can copy it, and now I'm going to log in here. So we have the password in here, and the username was Niels, but let me copy that as well. And yeah, we can log in here. Let's not remember any passwords in the browser, it's not safe. So we see uh, we have an account information of Niels, his ID number, address, his children, has a few children in here, but and also vouchers are available in here. But before we test, I just wanted to say, don't worry about the mess. If there are any vulnerabilities we will find here, probably we will, but so don't worry about the mess. It's a part of the process, just like how we clean our brushes. We can learn from our mistakes and come back stronger. But how do we test this? We can, with the right click of a mouse, we can find a menu that has an inspect option available to us. We click on inspect and developer tools menu open. And then it's important to browse to the network tab. And here we go, and we are ready to test. We will start from clicking on the view details icon with an eye here. So we're clicking that icon and we see the child details, and straight away we can see the ID number 10 here. So we click on that ID and I will make it a little bit bigger maybe. And we can click on the account user here, and a menu on the right side will open with the user ID 10 and view account information. The URL looks very similar to the example we've seen with the package here. This is potentially the vulnerability we want to test. So to test this vulnerability, we can go to storage here, local storage, and click on the URL below. I will make it a bit bigger, and we can see two key values here, out token and out user. and we can see user ID is 10 in here. But if we click on this part 2 times and we edit the user ID to 11, for example, click enter and then refresh the page, we can see there is another account available here. And maybe we want to click to 13 now and enter, refresh, and we see an account of Bunny with no children, but we are looking for someone with 10 children, so probably not this person. We go back to the local storage again, and maybe we want to see the ID number 14. Refresh again, and that's Pickle with 2 children accounts. That's not what we are looking for, though. So let's get back to the storage, local storage again, and we want to click on, maybe let's check user ID 15. How about that? And we click enter to confirm, refresh again, and we see Sir breeds a lot. So with tell children as a domain name here. So let's scroll down and count the children. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So he has 10 kids. And so what was the ID number? Do you remember? ID number was 15. So I think that's our answer. We can scroll down and check it out. And we can check if the 15 will work. And check. And how about that? It's a correct answer. But we want to learn a bit more from this challenge in here. So I wanted to also go back to the reading material here and give you an example that if you go into the network tab, you also can see a request being made that looks a lot like this. What is that? It looks base 64 encoded. So if we check this value, for example, let's use CyberChef. We go back to the network tab and click the icon here. We can see something that looks base 64 encoded. So let's check MTA in here. In CyberChef, we select from base 64 and type MTA value. So type MTA value, that's 11. But for example, in this challenge was MG. So let's see what is MG. And that's output is 2 in here. So if we want to get other results, we can also use base 64 encoded numbers and get more information, get use of the IDOR vulnerability as well in that way. And also another thing that very cool that you can find, I encourage you to read more and practice that. Encoding isn't only one thing that can be used to hide potential IDOR vulnerabilities. Sometimes the values may look like a hash, such as MD5 or SHA-1. If you want to see that, how it looks like, take a look at the request that happens when you click at the edit icon next to a child. So we want to go back to the inspect mode, network tab, and we want to click the edit, and we see a value here. So if we copy that value and, for example, use a tool like hashes.com or hash identifier, and you submit and identify, you can see that this is MD5, a hash, That also is useful information that we can maybe hash values and use them to exploit the IDOR vulnerability. And so this is a really cool, yeah, and you can simply replicate the hashing function using something like hash identifier can help you quickly understand what hashing algorithm is being used, or can often tell you what data is hashed. So you can click on this hyperlink and you can see the hashes homepage that you can use to identify. Let's go back in here. And I think I explained all of the details for you. We got all the answers here. So let's scroll down to the bottom of the challenge. You can do the bonus challenges. I encourage you to do so. But if you enjoyed this room, you can also check out the IDOR room. You can click here and learn how to find and exploit IDOR vulnerabilities. I already completed this room, but I really encourage you to do so because it's really cool and you can learn a lot. Feel free. So I already did it, so I'll press the check button and thank you. If you're stuck, you can also ask for help here. So thank you for coming to my explanation, to my walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I hope I did a good job because it's really important to me. I hope you liked my quotes as well, and happy holidays. I hope you enjoyed the advent of cyber and all of the challenges. But more importantly, I wanted to say that I'm very proud of you for going on the learning journey here. I pretty much started my cyber career with TryHackMe and learning hands-on challenges with them. So you have bright future ahead of you. Just keep on learning, keep on taking notes, keep on gaining the hands-on experience, the muscle memory, and learning how to think like a hacker to get to be more in the hacker mindset. But this is all for me today. Once again, happy holidays and bye.